How do you know that your high capability, high potential employee is on the verge of quiet quitting? What are the warning signs and what can you do to help prevent it? I recently made a video that was focused more on the employee's perspective. Today, I want to talk about, from the employer perspective, how do you really put a stop to this pandemic of quiet quitting? For high capability, high performance employees, there's really two primary indicators that they are on the verge of quiet quitting. The first indicator that you can look out for is, has their performance been slipping over time? When they first started with your company, or maybe even a couple years ago in their career, they were towards the top of the pack and they were really a go-getter and they really cared about overperforming and having that top tier ranking. You've noticed that attitude shifting and they've fallen more towards the middle of the pack. Yes, they're doing excellent work and they're a very productive employee for you, but they don't have that oomph that they used to have. Now, of course, this could be due to a very flawed ranking system or due to other extenuating circumstances that are going on in the employee's life, maybe some health issues or family matters that could cause this shift in focus and shift in performance. But it is a warning sign that perhaps you have a quiet quitter on your hands. A second primary indicator is that your employee is not asking for extra work, even though you and they both know that their base responsibilities, especially for an employee of their caliber, does not really fill an entire 40-hour work week. You know that their base responsibilities are really not all that exciting. And newsflash, they know this even better than you do. They are not asking for more interesting assignments. They're not asking for growth assignments. They just kind of keep their head down and do their base tasks. That should definitely pique your curiosity about that employee, and you can begin to think, what is incentivizing that behavior? Why are they not incentivized to be more invested in their career at this company? In all of these cases, the employer, as a manager, should be openly curious, not judgmental. You never know for sure what's going on behind closed doors. But those are two great signs that should line up some of those warning systems in your brain as a manager that there might be something going on with your employee. If you have an employee whose performance is slipping over time and they're not asking for more meatier, interesting projects for their work, I'm sorry to inform you, you may have a quiet quitter on your hands. Now, what do you do? Here are the steps for quiet quitting prevention. The first step in quiet quitting prevention, and this especially goes out to corporate America. If you only hire the best of the best, super intelligent folks, they were top of their class, they have a 3.8, 3.9, 3.95, 4.0 GPA from the very, very best schools. Make sure that each of your employees is working on something that they are truly interested in. In Fortune 100 corporate America, you need to know that the majority of employees are rule-following, high-achieving, by-the-book individuals. They have a proven track record of being able to do all the stupid that college makes you do, and they excel at pretending that they enjoy it. In general, this class of employees really do fear rocking the boat, and I found a lot of them would much rather be unhappy, boom, kind of leave with no prior warning and not many chances for their employer, rather than rocking the boat and having those difficult conversations. This type of employee is pretty scared to come to you and tell you that they truly hate what they're doing and they do not like the career path that they're on within your company. And this is to a huge detriment to your company. You have a collection of the brightest people and you're not utilizing them to their full potential. So the first step in preventing quiet quitting is to give your employees work that they're actually interested in, creating that space where your employees can openly discuss and have those conversations with you about their job satisfaction and their future aspirations. And there are no repercussions to their future career, to their salary, to their job potential if your employee is able to communicate to you why they're on the verge of quiet quitting. You have a chance of saving and re-engaging that employee in their work. And next, when an employee finally summons the courage to come to you and tell you basically they're on the verge of quiet quitting, or in other terms, they do not enjoy their current job and they do not really see a good, solid career path in the spot that they're at. When they come to you and hint that they kind of, sort of, maybe don't love everything about their job, your first assumption should be that they absolutely despise it and they are about 1 month away from quiet quitting. Like seriously, because by the time they had the courage to come and tell you that, they have been unhappy for a period of time and they have been feeling unfulfilled in their role for a period of time and they're 3/4 of the way out the door. In this case, you did create that space that your employee can come to you and talk to you. So you need to act quickly and validate what they're feeling and validate that you're making plans to listen to them and to move them to where they're trying to go. Show that you care and that you're making plans to address it. Clarify with the employee exactly what are they unhappy about. Is it the job itself? Is it certain tasks in the job? Is it the people they work with? Is it the work environment? Is it the location? Is it you as their manager? Are you the problem? Know that by the time they tell you that they are feeling dissatisfied, they have been feeling that way for months to maybe even years. There's really no time to waste. It's also likely that their answer to, hey, what can we do? What's the issue here? It's likely that their answer is, yes, all of the above. It is the tasks. It is the job. It is the salary. It is the hours. I hate coming into the office. I hate getting dressed up. And really, you're not a good manager. And that's why step 1 is so key. You need to create that space and that relationship with that employee that they can tell you what's going on before the answer is yes, all of the above is the problem. It's much easier to re-engage an employee if it's just 1 or 2 things that need to change in order for them to start feeling more fulfilled in their job and connecting back with the company. Know that when your employee first comes to you and opens up about their dissatisfaction with their job, it's likely they will soften and measure most of the complaints that they have. For example, they might come to you and say, oh, I really don't like some of those admin tasks that I do, but the rest of the job is pretty okay. Let's just fix the admin tasks. You should take that and amplify it about 10 times. Oh, I despise the admin tasks that I have to do, and the rest of the job is really not all that much better. After you create that space that the employee can come to you and tell you that they are losing satisfaction in their job, and you have the conversations about what exactly can be changed in order to re-engage them with their work, the next step is to work together with your employee and make a plan with set timelines on when you will start to address those concerns. If you cannot change the employee's role in the short term, which is most likely the case, job roles can take a little while to work through. Make a set timeline on when the responsibilities within that role are actually going to change. And then also a set timeline on when the employee can move to a better fit job role. And this is far more important than you can understand, because as an employee, we can withstand a lot more misery if we know the end date to that suffering, but it becomes even more of a psychological burden to just tell your supervisor how you feel and feel like you're telling them over and over and not seeing a change and not knowing if anything is being worked. Even if plans are being worked and even if something is going on, to keep the employee in the dark will not help to fix the quiet quitting feeling and that feeling of checking out that the employee is beginning to have. If you have any chance of saving your employee from quiet quitting, fast action is necessary and showing progress is necessary. Transparency is necessary. There is a big, wide world out there, and once your employee realizes the opportunity cost of staying in a job that they hate and doing work that does not feed their ultimate outcome, they will leave. And they should. The advantage of large corporations is that there are so many job roles that you can fit employees into. Yes, I know it does take time, but you can make the right plans to get employees to their areas of interest. There really can be something for everybody. The key is to save those who are on the verge of quiet quitting, find their interests, and re-engage them in their work with the company, and re-engage them in a way that further develops their innate strengths and talents. So let me tell you, I adored every single supervisor and manager that I had in my 5-year corporate career, and I don't really know who else can say that. And if your employee is coming to you and talking to you about Tim Ferriss, Naval Ravikant, Alex and Layla Hormozi, Gary Vaynerchuk, they're probably a lost cause. But that aside, if you want to stop the bleed of quiet quitting and full-out quitting, create a system that rewards the behaviors that you actually want to see. Reward the behaviors that your company claims to value. Value your employees as individuals and not as cogs in a wheel. Learn about them and their innate talents and innate aptitudes. Things may surprise you. and then really get your employee into positions that they can foster those innate talents, innate strengths, and interests. Both the company and the employee will see outsized returns when that perfect job match is made.